Welcome back, Lords and Ladies, Game Robe right here, and welcome to part 2 of Tier 3 of Blood Magic. So, today we're going to go over some of the rituals. This is majority of the rituals that does not require the Dusk Ruin. But first, before you can even do that, I did not show you last episode what you needed to even make these fancy looking markings. What you need is the water elemental inscription tool, which is used by 1000 LP in the blood altar using lapis lazuli block. Next, you need the elemental inscription tool fire for 1000 LP using the magma cream in the altar. Third, you need the elemental inscription tool earth, LP of 1000. With obsidian in, yet again, the blood altar. Next, you need the inscription tool air, 1000 LP, with gas tier in the blood altar. Lastly, you want to combine all these together to make the one, the only, Ritual Diviner. There are actually 3 types of Ritual Diviners, but it's only upgrading each time you do it. But this is going to be your Tier 3 Ritual Diviner. You have to have one of each of these basic inscription tools, 4 diamonds, and an emerald. In order to go through the different kind of rituals, you shift right click like this, and we'll show you in the lower corner there what ritual it is. Then once you have the ritual that you're interested in making, you place down your ritual stone. Make sure you've got plenty of your master ritual stone. Make sure you have plenty of ritual stones, and then you just spam the living daylights out of this. It will show you green stuff whenever it's placing, and then it starts doing that to north, south, west whenever it's done. Like this. So now to go over what each of these do. So I'm just going to gather myself a few items, just to be on the safe side. Alright, so this is the Serenade of the Nether. For 10,000 LP, you can create lava. So let's make sure we are safe on creating this lava. And then right click with our wake activation crystal. Make sure it is bound to you. And then it creates your lava for you. Now you could pump in regents, which is through the alchemy part. Sanctus fills the tank above the master ritual stone. Offensia gives fire fuse effect to entities within range. And Redictus is immunity from the fire fuse effect for the players. Oh, this is also interesting. See, it's gone, it's back. It's gone, it's back. This is because the ritual is continuing on. We can break that, get rid of that, and the ritual has stopped. Or another thing you can do, if you want to keep the ritual activated but not active, get yourself a lever and turn it on the state of on. Now when you activate this, it won't activate, but when you turn that off, it will activate. Just like that. Neato. Now over on this side is the Ritual of the Green Robe. It increases the speed at which plants grow. 10,000 to activate, 100 LP per second. You can also pipe in Terre, speeds up growth. Orbis Terre, speeds up growth. I believe it's the same speed, it doesn't say on the wiki. Aquasalis hydrates the blocks. That way you don't have to have a water source block in the area. Invertus increases the range from a 3x3x3, a 3x3 to a 9x9, essentially tripling how big your bone meal effect is going to be. So let's take a look. Activate it, and anything under it or even above it will start getting a bone meal effect slowly but surely. Now over here is the interdiction ritual. Let's get ourselves a creeper. Now the interdiction ritual repels mobs. 1,000 life points to activate, 10 life points to move a mob. You can pump in ether, which affects items, or magicalis, which will affect players. It has a pretty small range, but the range comes out to maybe about here. Next thing is the Ritual of Containment. The Ritual of Containment is 2,000 LP to activate, and it imprisons mobs in the center, and it's 10 LP per second. Now, I could actually think of something that this would be pretty useful for. Like, if you have the Well of Suffering up here, and you just want to drop in a bunch of witches, but don't want the witches to just go all over the place, have this activated, and all the witches will end up in the center there. So let's do a example. There's a creeper, activate that, and it will imprison the creeper in that center location. Now you could pump in a terrain, which increases the range from a 5x5 to a 10x10x10. Crepitus prevents creepers from exploding, so that is pretty cool also. And Magicalis gives planar binding to all mobs within range. So you could have your mobs in that area just fine and still have yourself that interdiction ritual going on at the same time. You guys must have been wondering, when are we going to get to the bound sword, the bound tools? Well, it's your lucky day. The Ritual of Binding creates the bound tools only for 5,000 LP. What you need to do is drop a respective tool, that is a diamond tool, of each of these items that you want to create. So if it's going to be the bound sword, you need to create yourselves a diamond sword and drop it in the center over here. So let me give you an example. A diamond sword right here. So I'll throw that in the center and create that. Now you might want to be careful because this fire can and will destroy the bound blade if you're not close enough. Lightning will strike down, as you saw. There's a lot of fire all over the place. But once done, you will get the bound blade, shift right click the bound, and to unsheath it. Mind you, it will drain from your LP or your soul network while it's unsheathed. But with this, you can do a weakness 3 effect on mobs you hit, and if you kill them while they are under that effect, you will get that blood shard over there. Now let's say that you've created yourself the bound armor. I don't think we have enough time in this episode to go over it, but if we do, I will go over how to create the bound armor. But there's just so much about it, I might have to do it in a different episode. But the Ritual of Unbinding, basically, if you create yourself the bound armor and you want to upgrade it, the only way to upgrade it is by deconstructing it first. And that's where the Ritual of Unbinding comes in. For 30,000 LP to activate, you can construct your bound armor. Or if you want to pump in Sanctus, you can unbound any item that is bound to your soul network or someone else's soul network. So you could let someone else or yourself bound it to your soul network. So, are you interested in a bouncy toy? Well, here you come to the right place. Ritual of the High Jump. It launches entities 12 blocks into the air. 1,000 LP to activate and 10 LP per operation. You could also pump in Ether to increase the throw height, or Terre to increase the range of a fall damage protection. So we can activate it like this, and we get thrown into the air. It's like a bouncy. It's a bouncy gym, or whatever you guys call that. This is actually pretty fun. Whee! 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 Just like any ritual, you can put a lever on it to stop it. Turn on the lever to turn it back on. If I can... Did I? Yes! The next one, which will be a tier 4 automatic mining for you, an automatic quarry, is the Ritual of Magnetism. Basically what it does is it reaches down into the earth, pulls it up so that you have ores in to mine. It's 5,000 LP to activate and 50 LP per block TP'd up to the top here. So let's say I've got some gold. Place a gold there. Turn it on. And activate it. I probably put it way too far. Well, I know it works because I've seen it work. Oh, I think I know what's going on. But basically what it does is it takes ore from down and teleports it up to here. You could pipe in Terre to increase the area from 3x3x3 to a 7x7 by 3x7, or a Orbis Terra from to a 12x3x12, or both of them at the same time for a 31x31. Potentia will increase the rate of speed. The next one is the Dome of Suppression. So I don't really have a lot of water to do this with. Give me a second. So what the Dome of Suppression does is it suppresses water for 10,000 LP and 80 LP per second. So let's activate it. And voila, there goes the water. Voila, there goes the water again. So you could use this to create bases for you underwater. It actually has a pretty big range, but I didn't get that set up. So in order to create, what you can do to pump this stuff in is either a radius from 10 to 20 or Aquasalis from 10 to 15. The next thing is called the Call of the Zephyr. I do believe that we need a chest up there, but what it does is it collects items on the ground. 25,000 life points to activate and 5 LP per stat. And Redicus adds a delay to it. So let's activate this, and yep, it collects it for you and puts it in the chest above. Immediately, pretty much. Ow, I love that. Honestly, I might just put that in my base. Next thing that I really don't use, but I guess it would be good for like extra saturation, is Requiem of the Satiated Stomach. For 100,000 to activate, that's a lot. At a 33x33x33 area, it applies saturation to you. It does not add to the hunger bar, but it takes food from a chest above and adds saturation whenever you eat. And last one for this episode is Ritual of the Full Spring. 500 LP to activate and creates water sources, just like the lava source over there. Only this one has a couple special effects with the different essentia that you can put into it. Aqua Solace hydrates soil within a 9x7x9. Offentia gives drowning to all mobs within range. Chrysalos causes snow and ice around the vicinity of the altar in a small area. Sanctus fills the tank above, and Redicus gives the owner of the ritual immunity to drowning. I actually want to try that. But let's show you. Ta-da! And we can do that just like the lava over there. Infinite water source, what can I say? Gotta love it. I love the infinite lava source too. Alright, lords and ladies, that is majority of the rituals for tier 3. I did leave out about 1 or 2 newer rituals that were added in here, and I think it's because of Thaumcraft and maybe some other thing, so I don't know what they do. Like Ritual of the Rhythmatic Anvil or something like that, and then there's the Ritual of the Cookie, and then Ritual of Delayed Insanity. I know for sure that was a Thaumcraft add-on there. So and also we did not go over those that has the Dusk Ruin. We'll do the Dusk Ruins once we get into tier 4 or even tier 5. I do believe it's going to be tier 4. So, if you lords and ladies enjoyed this episode, please leave a big fat like, comment, and subscribe. I will catch you lords and ladies next episode, where we go over just the bound armor and its effects that you can give it. Bye bye now and enjoy!